All right, 7th graders, this week we're going to be using enharmonics to recognize and figure out how to play unfamiliar notes. Now, this is something that we covered already, but I wanted to do a real quick review. So what I did was I wrote all of the note names for all the naturals on the whiteboard here. So you have A natural, B natural, C natural, D natural, E natural, F natural, G natural, and A natural. And we're just going to really quickly kind of review how the enharmonic notes work so that you can use enharmonics to figure out any notes that are unfamiliar. So I'm just going to start by writing down a couple of the notes that we're pretty familiar with that we use pretty regularly. Like pretty much everybody plays at one time or another a B flat. Now you guys know that flat means lower. So B flat goes in between B and A because it's lower than B. So B flat is a note that comes between B and A. Let's look at a sharp. A sharp note is a note that's higher than the natural note. So let's just start with F sharp. F sharp sounds higher than F. So it's between F and G, and it sounds higher, so it's above the F on the board. So let's talk about A flat too. So A flat is lower than A. It sounds between A and G. So A flat sounds lower than A, is between A and G. And then let's also just write an E flat as well. E flat is lower than E. It sounds in between the notes D natural and E natural. Now, to figure out their enharmonic partner, all that you got to do is you have to realize that the partner is going to be a sharp if the note is flat. The partner is going to be flat if the note is sharp. There's only one note that goes in between each of the naturals. So let's start with the note between D and E. Now, there's only one note that goes in between D and E. Now, if we think about that note as being lower than E, it's an E flat. However, it has two names. So the other name for E flat is going to be a D, but it's a D sharp. It's higher than D. The note that's higher than D is D sharp. The note that's lower than E is E flat. But they're actually going to sound the same because there's only one note in between each of the naturals. Similarly, let's take a look at the A flat. The A flat's enharmonic partner. A flat is lower than A. So a note that's higher than G is going to be G sharp. G sharp and A flat, they're going to sound the same. So if you ever run into a G sharp and you're wondering how the heck am I supposed to play that G sharp, well, it's the same as A flat. So now let's look at the F sharp. The F sharp sounds higher than the F and is between F and G because we're going up. So we have to have a note that's lower than G, so it's a flat, and it's a G flat. We've moved down and added a flat. G flat and F sharp sound the same. So whenever you run into a G flat, you'll know how to play it because G flat is going to be played the same as F sharp. Now our B flat. B flat is lower than B, so it's a B flat, but it's also going to be the same as an A sharp because it's higher than A. So when you see an A sharp, don't freak out and think that it's a note that you don't know how to play. It's the same as the B flat that you've been playing, most of you, for a really long time. Now some of these notes we haven't played that much of either way. So the note that's higher than C is a C sharp. Its enharmonic partner is lower than D, so it's a D flat. So that is pretty much it. hopefully you remember that from before, but since we were jumping back in this week and there's a lot of different things in these enharmonics for us to work on this week, I wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable. So if you need to watch it again, you can. If you have any questions, you can put them in the discussion board, or you can ask them from me by hitting the little envelope button. But hopefully that'll get you guys up and running this week on using enharmonics to figure out unfamiliar notes. Have a good week.